Well, welcome to Champagne School. Where was this when I was in college? Janie Higgins is our professor today. Janie, thank you so much for our schooling opportunity.
Of course. Thank you for joining us this morning.
This is what you do. This is your gig. You go around and talk about champagne all day long.
It is. So my official title is Champagne Specialist. I represent 5 wonderful champagne houses. And it's my job to educate people about champagne and talk about champagne all day long, Sting.
I love being a student in your class, Janie. Okay, let's start because I know rosé is so big right now, not only for wine, but for the champagne world. Rosé is huge.
Yeah, so rosé champagne, this is the season for it. Valentine's Day is perfect time to drink rosé champagne. Rosé champagne in general has experienced a resurgence in the United States because Americans are finally understanding rosé champagne and how special it is.
So what are some misconceptions of rosé? Because a lot of times people might think, oh, it's going to be sweet.
Yeah, so that's the biggest misconception that I try to gently remind people about rosé champagne. Most rosé champagnes are very dry. They're not sweet at all. I like to say that a certain pink wine that was popular in the 1980s and 90s taught us all that pink in a glass means that it's sweet, but rosé champagne is not sweet. It's actually the most pairable wine. So if I were to go to dinner with 10 of my friends and we were all ordering different dishes, I would order rosé champagne because it's the best chance that it's going to go with all of our dishes, from red meat to salads to seafoods.
I love that tip. And who doesn't love something pink in a glass? Talk to me, Janie, about the glasses, because we're drinking champagne, but these are not flutes. These are wine glasses.
Absolutely. So I highly encourage everyone to experiment drinking champagne, the same champagne out of a flute versus a white wine glass, and taste the difference. So a flute is very beautiful, but that's kind of the end of a story on the flute. A white wine glass is going to really let you experience the aromas and the flavors of champagne.
Okay, well, let's get started. What are you starting with?
All right, so today we're going to start with Ruinart Rosé. Ruinart was the first established champagne house, established in 1729. It's a little gem of our portfolio.
Beautiful.
Salud.
Cheers.
So, being the first established champagne house, they obviously know what they're doing. They've been doing it for a very, very long time. What I love about Ruinart Rosé is that not everyone knows about Ruinart, but once you have it and you experience it, you just become a fan of the brand and you absolutely love it and can't wait to tell your friends.
I love the taste of this. It's a beautiful flavor, but it's definitely not sweet.
No.
And drinking it, you're right, out of that white wine glass allows it to open up.
It's so bright and refreshing. You don't need food. It goes great with food, but you can just drink it on its own, and it's fabulous.
I love that you're walking through the pronunciations of these two, because I think all of us kind of go through life thinking, I don't know if this is right or not. So Ruinart, and now we have another one which a lot of people don't pronounce correctly.
Yes, so this one is pronounced Moet. Some little fancy English lesson. There's actually 2 dots over this E, which is called an umlaut. Moet, the name is originally Flemish, not French. So it is a hard T at the end, Moet, not Moe.
Moet.
So we like to say, no way Moe, it's Moet.
Ooh, very nice.
Very different.
Very different.
Still very nice. You kind of get a little bit more body, a little bit, taste that Pinot Noir in there a little bit more.
I'm a fan of Moet. Okay, the third one. This is another tricky pronouncer. I've heard so many different, but Janie, explain to us the correct way.
I like to say that half of my job is teaching people to pronounce things correctly, and if I can send little ambassadors out into the world pronouncing it correctly and correcting their friends, then it makes my job a lot easier. So this one is pronounced Veuve Clicquot. Veuve, like love, is a great way to remember it. Rhymes with love, especially as Valentine's Day is coming up.
And I love Veuve. I do. Oh, wow. So nice. Even the bubble texture is a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit different. One thing that I love to talk about Veuve Clicquot, especially their rosé, just celebrated its 200-year anniversary. They created the first rosé from blending method. and it turned 200 years old last year.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
I know.
I don't know when I can graduate from your School of Champagne, but I'm happy to be your student, and I love being in your class, Janie.
Well, cheers.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
I completely learned a few new things from you, Courtney.
Hey.
Thank you so much. I've been calling Vuv,
We
my
all
entire
have.
life.
So many of us have.
And Moet, I have called Moe.
Yes.
I'm embarrassed that I've been so wrong.
No. We've all done it. But here's the thing. That's why I wanted to talk to Janie, because I was like, set the record straight for us. We're sometimes afraid to ask those questions. Am I pronouncing it right? You feel a little like you can't ask, but that's what Champagne School is all about. And by the way, we talked about the book here, The Widow Clicquot. And this is the book, fascinating. Talk about hashtag girl power. This is an unbelievable read. So a great, maybe a belated Valentine's gift.
And a New York Times
friends.
bestseller.
Yes.
Cheers, Courtney.
Cheers,
and
my
thanks,
friend.
Janie, for all the
Yes,
info.
Janie.